ourselves yet another interesting question. So it's an easy 2-mark question, multiple choice question at that. So here we are given a diagram that illustrates a 28-day menstrual cycle. So as you can see, from day 0 to day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to day 5, up until to approximately day 5, there is a process of menstruation that is occurring. And we know that the process of menstruation, it is the shedding of the endometrium, right? Now, after day 5, we have day 6, and then we have X to represent a day or an event that is occurring during the menstrual cycle. Then we have day 14, which we know that it is the day of ovulation, right? Then we have Y, day 21, Z, and then another cycle, or rather another menstrual cycle begins on day 28. So let us go through the question to see what do they require from us, okay? So right over here, they're saying, based on the above illustrations, select the correct option of different hormonal levels. So that means these letters X, Y, and Z are actually the representation, or they are representing the hormones in which are secreted during the menstrual cycle. Now, what you need to remember is that in the menstrual cycle, we have a total of 4 hormones which are secreted, 2 from the pituitary gland and 2 in the ovaries by the follicles. Okay, so now we know that during the starting of the menstrual cycle, the pituitary gland needs to secrete the main character hormone, right? The main hormone, which is the follicle stimulating hormone, right? FSH is always under normal circumstances, it is always in high concentration during the starting of the menstrual cycle. Why? So that it can stimulate the development of what now? The development of the follicles. Okay. Now, as the follicles develop and mature, they mature into a Graafian follicle. Now, a Graafian follicle secretes a hormone, right? Which is responsible for preparing the uterus, or the lining of the uterus for what now? For implantation, should fertilization occur. Okay. So now that means after day 5, after the process of menstruation has occurred, now the development of the follicles needs to start, okay? So now X basically represents FSH, okay? And we need FSH in high concentration or in high levels, all right? Then we have Y, which is a hormone after day 14. Now, what do we know about the hormonal secretions or hormonal levels after day 14? We know that on day 14, we have a spike increase in what now? In LH. But then after day 14, LH decreases, right? Yes, it only increases on day 14 under normal circumstances for the process of ovulation and to convert the what now? The Graafian follicle into a corpus luteum. All right. Now, this letter Y would either represent the decrease in LH or the secretion of progesterone, but we'll see. Because we know that after day 14, when LH is secreted, it converts the Graafian follicle into corpus luteum, which then secretes progesterone. But then in this case, we'll just say Y is the luteinizing hormone, right? All right, then you can see that after day 21, we have Z, right? And Z is the representation of a hormone, which in this case, it would be the progesterone. So let us go through the table and see what we are given. So they're saying A, hormone X, progesterone increases. No, of course not. X is not the representation of the hormone progesterone, but what now? Of FSH. So in this case, we're only going to take into consideration the options which only speak of the FSH and X representing the FSH, okay? So now that is between B and C. B and D, okay? So in this case, we have B, where they're saying FSH increases, which is true. What about D? They're saying FSH increases, which is also true. So what about Y? Hormone Y. Hormone Y, we have identified it to be LH, right? Now, Y represents a hormone after day 14, and they're saying LH is low, which this is correct, because we know that after day 14, after the process of ovulation has occurred and the conversion of Graafian follicle into corpus luteum has occurred, then the LH then decreases, right? What about option D? Option D is saying that LH is high, which is incorrect. LH gets to be high during day 14 or on day 14, all right? Then they're saying that hormone Z, which is the progesterone, it decreases. This one, it would be correct because you can see that Right after the representation of letter Z, you can see that on day 28, we have a new menstrual cycle process that is occurring. That means there was no fertilization and no implantation. So now our correct option here is B, and we get our easiest 2 marks just like that. And until we meet again, good people, like we always do, stay blessed.